Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I can repair Maxi paws or mini paws, just about any Rainbird Impact except for the 15103s. I'm not going to cover the pin style lid mount today because that's a little bit different than these. But have you ever struggled trying to get this little pin out of there to get the arm off to put a bushing or whatever on it? Well, I figured out a pretty easy way to do that. So yeah, first I'd like to set it on a flat surface. Kind of scooch you forward a little bit. And there, I'll scooch forward a little bit. There we go. And then I take something that's like tubular, like this, that fits just around the pins. Like there's the top with the 4 ears. I don't know. There we go. There's the top with 4 ears that, or 3 things that catch the plastic, and I get it to where it just fits around that. And basically what I do is I stick that over there carefully. You want to hold this where it doesn't like go flying into the ears or something and break those, because I just broke a pair of ears for a different one. Is a newer one I had to rebuild previously. But yeah, so I just take this. It may look like you're gonna break it, but and it starts to actually, to blow your mind, it, as long as you did that correctly, it actually pushes that little pin up a little bit. So I'll do it some more. It takes a few times. I'm probably gonna end up ruining this clock key. See, now look at it. It's almost to the middle of the pegs now. This is what I like to call them. And there you go. And then I just get a pair of needle nose pliers and pull it out. No, I didn't grab it right. There we go. See, there's that pin out. It was that simple. I was so mind blown when I took a pin vise, my dad's little pin vise at their house, and figured that out. And then from there on, to get the arm off, with the Maxis at least, you just, let me get the focus here. Oh, there we go. You just pry this little thing off here carefully, and then it just falls out for the most part. Just don't lose all the pieces, because like this piece, the bushing and that. But I wanted the spring off this one because I'm going to swap it with this one, which I just pulled the pin out of. It's a newer one, 2020. It actually had a SAM check valve originally. I put that on a MG4 though. And then obviously again, there we go. And you probably should do it this way, honestly. And then you just flick it. Oh, maybe not. There we go. That one falls out. See this little white piece over there. So here's that spring. Make sure, I'll have to make sure I got the right spring. The way you can compare springs, if you know which one's tighter, is you can see where they sit on here. If you line them up on there to the final slot, you'll compare this to where this tightens at. So this one tightens right in line with the arm, and the one should be less than that, or more than that. Yeah, see this one that was just off of the just off of this one. Oh, come on, why is it not focusing? The phone's being silly. Just off of that one is a little bit past the arm, and it keeps not focusing. So that means this one is the tighter one, which I shall use on this arm, the newer arm. And then get the little white piece, the gray piece. I think, yeah, this one's obviously the newer one. I like to match them the way they were, obviously. I'm kind of picky like that. And then you basically slide that in the way it came out, the way it fell out. Like so. And then you want to make sure that piece, oh, come on, focus. Yeah, you want to make sure this piece up here is in that little notch before you try to hook it over here. It's going to be kind of a pain, but once you get a screwdriver in there, and you just flick it up onto there. Try to show it better. Like that. But it will not stay on there unless that is above this little peg thing here. Little pin that sticks out. And then you get your pin, right pin, there's the one. There are certain ones, they've kind of altered between their styles of pins. You see this one is like little ridges, and that just goes down in there. And to get them back on, see what I used the other day. I think I used an actual punch the other day, but that's kind of risky. But so is a nail. I think I used a screw. Let's see here, oh here it is right here, the screw, flathead screw. That's what I used to get it in on some other ones. Make sure it is the right one though. Yeah, that's definitely the tighter one. And then you make sure that's in there good. And then what I do with the center cap. That's it. I think so. Yes. Now that one has a tighter spring, which is what I wanted. It seems like the newer ones tend to have that. I also have a lot of arms right here. If you can't see it, you can't see them. A lot of different arms from different heads. This one's like basically not even used at all. I think it's this one. No, what's this one? This one was doing a full circle basically all its life. Come on, there we go. You see by this is barely worn right here. Most of these other ones are relatively worn. This one's from 1987. Come on. There we go. Right there. It's not, this piece is doing a full circle pretty much all its life. And then, yeah. So, let's get this one back together. This is a 2001. So I'm going to put that arm I just showed you on this one. Except I need the spring. I might need the little arm spring. And then the pin. I think this is the pin it had. Yeah, it's kind of worn though. Anyways, get that on there. Get the little white piece that went over here. And then, obviously, same steps over. Slide it in. Make sure it gets up on that upper piece. It did not. Now it is. I don't know why this one has such high spring tension. And it was like not, it wasn't even like it'd be like doing the third spring tension when it's literally set to the first spring tension. Gotta get that on there. Also, if you're new to my channel, I kind of don't really edit my videos too much. So I don't have a whole bunch of time of jobs that take up a lot of my day. I got off this morning. I worked in the morning, but I luckily don't have to work in the afternoon. Come on. Oh, it just came off there. It's being kind of naughty. There's my clock, by the way. I have a grandfather clock. It's my grandfather's, actually, before he passed. This is his house that I live in. Yeah, and then you get a newer pin I'm going to stick in there. I'm going to stick that in there. And then where's the screw? There's the screw. And then probably a little more. Now, when I broke the pegs, I was trying to take these green lids are really hard to get off because they're probably the most durable lids they ever made. Because you see those mold marks there, and they'll sound new for like, I had one as a kid that was all mowed up and had mowers lines all over it, and it was really white, and it sounded new still. It's pretty crazy how good they made. These was back in '92. You can see. And then see how this turned out. Yep, just like I like it. See, it basically no slack at all. It doesn't show it like my eyes see it. There's a lot less slack than there was before. But I do also need to replace this because it's frozen split here. You see. Right along there. There's a cut, like a huge slice in it. Which that is what I'm going to get to now. Let's see what... I forgot. I gotta find a seal. Pause it, go find a seal because I have multiple of those. Now I will say, before you throw away these little rubber, like before you throw away the assembly, if you're gonna replace it, put a new one on, yoink this off of there. Unless it's like ruined like this, so it's probably not so good. But let me scooch up there again. There, obviously I have another one on this assembly. This is not original. Before, I think 2001 or 2002, they turned them orange or yellowish orange like this, and they have since. They do like paint or something over them, but originally they were black, like back in 2000. So, like I just showed, or 2000 and previous. And so first you're going to get this filter screen off here, and you want to look for the side with the little clip on it, which would be, there we go, it'll be this side. You see a little clip right there. See, this side does not. It's just going to hold it under it. So you're going to get under that. There we go. These are the rarer white filter screens. It smells like WD-40. I remember it smelling like that. I think somebody tried to spray WD-40 to make it stop leaking, but it's split. And then you're going to get a 1/2 inch socket, an extension, and you're going to fit it down onto this. See that little nut down in there? There we go. Oh, blurry it up again. Hello. There we go. You can see it down in there. And then you're going to basically carefully, without breaking the little diffuser screw right there, right here, you're going to turn it counterclockwise until it clicks like that. And then I can just, since I have such a big one, I can just set it on like there, like this, and then just thread it off of there until it pops up like that. And then, let's see here, those 3 seals will stay on there as long as I'm careful. And then I can put them onto this one, just swap seals right over, and put it on here. That's one I just cleaned, okay? And then you obviously have to flip the switch on. If you have a fancy one like this, you have to flip the switch, little lever thing, so it reverses the way you can turn it. There we go, it started. And there we go. And there's a new seal on it. Don't forget the little rock screen back in it. I got another nicer one here. I actually have quite a few of these because there's a system of, right next door to where I lived as a kid, there was a system of, what, 32 Maxi paws, I think? 31 to 32. There's a lot of them. I think it was 31. So there's 2 zones of 4. 3 zones of 4, 1 zone of 1, and a PGP. And then there was a zone of 3. Yeah, so yeah, it would be 32 then. A zone of 4, and then 3 more zones of 4. I think, yeah, 7 stations 7, 8, and 9. It's actually not too far away. I can walk there from my house. It's actually not too far. But yeah, this one's from 2000, but it's not the same one. That one in that case right there is one of the ones that I got from that system. And there's still some of the originals in that system. I don't have a center cap. I'll have to find one for this one. Also note, if you're replacing seals, here's a 15103 one. Obviously, it's the older style without a catch all the way around. It's just here. Come on, focus. Here and here. You see, catches. There's 2 catches on it. There you go. And if it looks like, if there's any sort of like peeling away, so there's like a hole right down in there, like if that little flange that seals around this piece is really like crumbling or flaking away, you have to get a new seal, or basically, because I've never had any luck trying to fix these unless you actually, I've never been able to fix that. I don't know if you'd like put glue or something in there, but then it'd screw it up. But this is an MG, isn't this? No, that's the old one. MG4 seals here, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I sat it somewhere. Maybe it's still in the kitchen. Or did I put the MG4 one on there by accident? No. Oh, that's just another one. I must have left it in the kitchen. But yeah, that's how you basically change the seals. Or the riser assembly. And also, just another tip, there's a lot, if you live in a neighborhood or a small town, like even where I would live in a small town, but if you live anywhere like that, you're going to have other systems that are getting heads replaced, and the people are going to have them out sitting by their street, by their dumpsters or whatever. I would take the opportunity there to grab old heads if you're trying to save money, and you can use these tricks I just showed you to repair them. So this one should work just fine. Actually, I'll probably go run it right now as part of the video. Okay, got it in there. You see a bird creamed my poor 42 SA. But anyways, those Maxi paw wrenches are a must-have for dealing with these, by the way. So let's get it going. And as you can see, it seals perfectly for being, this riser is from 1999, probably late 99 because it's on 2000 Maxi paws. I got it from my stash, but what was I gonna say? The nozzle, you can tell just by the little lines in the stream like that. The focus there, kinda. There we go. He's kind of like angled, kind of. The pin's really not even hitting it too much, but it's angled weird. So I need to clean the nozzle and stuff. But otherwise, I boiled some water and then poured it on the top and mainly the bottom, because the bottom where I showed you the flanges seal against that. You can, if they're too like flopped out, you can boil them, boil some water and pour it in it. Like, not crazy boil it, but boil it just to where it's really hot. And like hot sink water will not work. But boiling water, and then you pour it in, and it'll like kind of heat them till they move back against the riser, which is why this one's sealing so good. So yeah, thought I could help you if I did. And if you have questions or comments or thank yous, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.